All right, well, first off, let's see. My mama was a crackhead. She was so strung out. She was so strung out on crack, she had to give me up when I was 3 days old. That means after she had me, they were going to put me up for adoption because she was so sick that she couldn't even take care of her and take care of me. So my grandmother, she took me in before foster care began. Her and my grandfather, they basically lived a life together, and they basically just raised my uncle, my father, my two uncles, and my father. So, with that being said, my father was a jailbird all my time. I've never had a relationship with my father, but I would want to because he was in and out of jail my whole entire life. And so basically, it was just me, my grandmother, and my grandfather. We're from Southeast, and we're from. At that time, my grandmother and my grandfather, they worked a little bit too much to take care of me. So my father's girlfriend at the time, my mom, when I call my mom, she basically took me in. And she raised me as if I was her own. And this was around Southeast Wellington Park. Anybody know where that is?
Yes.
I stayed there until I was about 5 years old. And then my grandfather, my grandmother was able to take care of me. So they moved me to Northeast. So I have adult lifestyle, because at the time, during the early 2000s, Southeast was not the safest place to raise a family. So basically what happened is, I was with my grandparents at the time. My grandfather sexually molested me until I was 5 years old. One day I woke up with a neck spasm. I couldn't turn my neck this way, that way, or up this way, because he was physically, sexually, tempting me. I found that out way later in my life. But basically, that was it. I lived a fairly normal, average childhood to live in D.C. I know everything about D.C., so, don't come at me like I don't. No Southeast, no Northeast, no Uptown, no all that stuff. So, what basically happened is, you want to know, why is Richard so uppity? How come you don't have that type of Southeast presence? Because I took it upon myself. My father and my uncle, when they was in my life, they were drug dealers. So all I saw was just the negative aspect of what that life could be. Being black, being a statistic, growing up these type of ways, I don't want no part of that. So what I basically did is separate myself from regular average hood kids and just stay to myself with it. Stay in the house, come home from school and stuff like that. And just basically get in a different type of music, you per se, white people music, like something around this plan right now. And that's basically it. I didn't have my pants off my ass. Pants was always up. It was nothing like that. I didn't have lingo. I didn't have ghetto language. I always talked as proper as I do now. And that was to differentiate myself in case I would get into trouble or some stuff like that. I get locked up and go to jail or what have you. The police wouldn't come at me like a statistic. Dark skin, black guy. So, basically to help me, I guess, basically stay out of trouble. What ended up happening is I had ADHD. So I was unable to focus, stuff like that. So I got held back in kindergarten. So I got held back in kindergarten, and basically that was about it for real. My grandparents, they always took care of people, always to the end of it. They always took care of people. So at this time, my grandparents were raising me. My mom, she was raising me. And I just, tried to live as best I could. I was a problem child. I didn't know why I was so mean to people, or why I was so violent or stuff like that. Just because, I guess what my grandfather did to me, it came out that type of way. So I was just, I don't know, I guess it's an outlet or whatever. I took my emotions out on people and stuff like that around. And, I don't know, I moved to Northeast. I went to Smothers Elementary School, if anybody know what that is. I went there for the first grade until I graduated to 6th grade. Basically, that was about it. I was just a problem child. The only time my father would come into my life is really for disciplinary actions. He whooped my ass. That's about it.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Who are you today?
Well, I was kind of getting there.
Okay, you have 1 minute.
Okay, my bad. So, I don't know, I went to middle school. I got in touch with, a teacher of mine in 2nd grade. Her name was Miss Daly. She was white, but I was bad in her class. And one day I was sitting there because I couldn't go out for recess at Kansas. She was like, Richard, let's go out. Because I've always wanted to be a zoologist. That's what I do. I wanted to be a zoologist when I grew up. Something bad with something to do with them. So she took me to the Museum of Natural History, and we had a blast. I knew the place inside out because my grandmother was the National Security Smithsonian security guard. She did that job for 25 years. My grandfather worked at a liquor store. Basically, I don't know, it was the time in third grade when all this is going on, and I told him I couldn't read, my third grade teacher. He kicked me out, and I had to be in special ed. And that year, I got proficient on my reading test for 7 hours. Because the new class I was in, I had this, I had a tutor, and she was real nice. So I don't know, I graduated 6th grade, I go to middle school, same issue, same type of deal. I saw what they was becoming. I didn't like rap music because what it was doing to our society as black people, how it was bringing us down. So I just, I would speak against it. People didn't like me. They was all family. They was like, oh, you ain't nothing but a cool, you know, white, like white people, whatever stuff. But they helped me together. So, I graduate middle school. I go to high school. That time, I basically did the quintessential drug, sex, and rock and roll. That was me. I was a rebel in high school. You couldn't touch it. You couldn't mess with it. Everybody knew who I was. Had a lot of friends. Everything was cool. Now, Rich, why are you here? Well, my last 2 years of high school, after I came out as bisexual. I'm not gay. I'm not straight. I'm bisexual. By the way. I like men and like women equal. There's no real difference. So basically, I came out, everything was cool, everything was exciting. I was getting into the LGBT community for the first time. I know how that is when you first come out and you're getting into it. So everything was cool, everything was fine. I had a girlfriend. I walked on Virginia when I was 17 years old. She was real nice, she was real cool about everything. Then eventually, life goes on. I don't know. 1 year, my mom, the one that took me in, because my mother couldn't take care of me, she passed away. Then my dog, I wrote a paper about how much I love my dog in elementary school, and I got the best paper for her. She passed away. My grandmother passed away. Me and my grandfather got evicted from the house that we was living that I grew up in. And basically, it left me and my grandfather, moving to place from place. He's a disabled senior citizen. So basically, what ended up happening is he ended up passing away. So it was just me to this planet by myself. I had no real family at this time. So I just moved place to place, did what I had to do to survive and to make myself, to keep on moving. From there, basically, I just became to be myself for real. I was assertive. I was doing all these things. I was getting jobs out of nowhere. I know how to go out there and get me a job. So, I don't know. Basically, it just let me get a costume. Going all around. It's pretty much led me to be a costume. And ever since then, for real, I ain't trying to do nothing more but than to get myself one bedroom apartment in South DC. And basically, I don't know, just live my life. I just got a job at the Verizon Center. Not too long ago, I clean up after the events, and that's really that's what I'm going to do. So I want to tell everybody, no matter who you are, don't, regardless of where some people come from, you don't know people's situations, you don't know what's going on. You can never look at somebody and take what's going on with somebody as face value. When you look at them, that's all it is. Because that's different than, it'd be hypocritical to be it. If you look at somebody and off bunch, you just judge them for who they are. Never give up. Always be as cool as you can to be to everybody. Always voice your opinion. That's basically it. Life goes on. And now I wouldn't really be here for real, if, I don't know, I guess if God, you ain't never give up on me.
All right.
That's basically it. So I just want to thank you, Miss Ruby, thank you, Miss Keisha, thank you, Miss Angela, Miss Tasha, and just thanks for Tasha and everything that's up. Thanks.